What's up guys, Goodlister here, and this is the FIFA 14 demo. Yep, finally we've managed to get our hands on it, and this is how it looks. I'm jumping straight into the Ultimate Team side of things. Of course, you know that's what it's all about, and we've got the animation here. So if you've watched any of my Raging with Ronaldo series, then you'll basically know that I'm gonna do like a live com and we'll talk over the gameplay, etc., and that kind of thing. So we'll see what team I've got, and well, I was hoping to get Messi and the other players, but you know, this team will do, I guess. It looks alright. Lewandowski and Aubameyang up top. We've got Iniesta. No, the chemistry's not that great, to be honest, but we'll see what happens. We'll see if we can manage to get a win as well, and we'll talk about, you know, what kind of things. So today's been not a bad day. Like, this is coming out to you on Tuesday, you might see it on the Wednesday, but it's been one of those, you know, forget Super Sunday. It's been like a terrific Tuesday already, and look at that squad that I'm playing against. Rather have that with Cavani and Ibra up front, and then El Shaarawy on the left wing. That's an awesome squad, and I wish I was using that one instead, but oh, what can you do? My team should be pretty good anyway. So going back to terrific Tuesday, yeah, you know, we had like football on TV, you had an England match to watch. You also had, for you Apple fans out there, you had the announcement of the new iPhones. Yep, there's an iPhone 5S and also the iPhone 5C. So, but for me, I love my Apple products, but I am slightly disappointed that they didn't, like, you know, make the screen size bigger. I think, you know, all the other phones seem to have massive screens now, and I think, you know, a 4-inch screen is like just too tiny these days. But oh well, we'll see. The fingerprint thing does sound like a good idea. I don't know if it's a novelty or if it's going to be actually a useful feature and make the phones more secure. Oh, and I've almost conceded there. So that's enough about Terrific Tuesday, etc. Let's talk about the gameplay and what I think about it. Well, I do like the way FIFA 14 looks. It does look good. Of course, what we don't know is how close is this to the final build of the game. The demos sometimes are normally not, you know, there's normally quite a few changes. So sometimes the demo will play a certain way, you won't be too keen on it, and then you get the final game and it's completely different. So let's see. I've heard a lot about the strength in this game. And we've got Aubameyang there showing that, you know, pace is still pretty important. He feels just as rapid. He's one of the quickest strikers in the game now, isn't he? I'm sure he's right up there with his like 95 or 96 pace, something like that. I know his pace is absolutely unreal. Of course, you know, they've changed the way you do skills as well, so we'll try and get a bit of that for you. Let's have a look. Oh, that didn't really work. So, oh, almost conceding there, and a bit of suicidal defending. It is quite late, so we'll see how we go on with that. And Aubameyang again. Aubameyang is absolutely rapid on this game. That's what you want. Puts the ball in, and Royce there with the volley. Not too good at all. So I think what stadium we're playing, looking at it, we're looking like we're playing in the new camp, looking at the badges on the ground. And it does look like it is nice to play something different. I mean, like FIFA 13, it was getting old and a bit stale, to be honest. And is the near post still OP? And not really, no. I've got to try the finesse shots as well. That's one thing that I've got to try. I've heard they're back and back in effect. I don't know if they're as good as they were in previous games like FIFA 12, but of course we'll see how it goes. The gameplay does feel slightly slower as a whole to me, but you know, the rapid players do feel like, you know, the gameplay does feel a little bit slow. It doesn't seem to like be end to end as much so far, but it's hard to tell. Again, you're playing against, you know, the computer, and also with the way things are changing, it's like I can't seem to get the ball off them at the moment, which is strange. I mean, if I was playing, I think there is a few changes to it there that, you know, it changes to the way the game works. I think we'll see how it goes anyway. So, did any of you guys watch the England game? That was probably one of the most boring games. It was a competitive game. Like, you know, they only needed a point, and it was a disappointing game. You know, Walcott had a chance. That was about it. I mean, although Lampard had a chance right at the end, that was really good. Really enjoyed that. So back to the demo anyway. And we're going into the second half now. I do like the animation at the middle, with all the menus and stuff. That does seem a lot better. You can go straight to the team management screen as well, which is really good. And it just seems like they've actually put a lot of thought and effort into like the presentation of it and what you can access. Oh, and Ibrahimovic there just left me for dead. So we'll see if the game is a much more polished version. Maybe it's like what FIFA 13 should have been, and maybe that one was a bit rushed. We'll see if we can actually get a goal in this, because it's not very good at the moment. We've got like an ultimate team here. We've got like Lewandowski and Aubameyang up top, and not being able to score a goal yet. So we'll have to see if it's crossing is overpowered. We'll see what's going on there. Busy making substitutions, but I'm not fussed about what they're doing, to be fair. Let's see if what the through ball's like over the top, and not quite. Wasn't like a decent effort really. Wasn't a decent. Like there wasn't the opportunity to play it. I think that's what I'm trying to say. So guys, let me know what you think. Do you want to see like more demo stuff? A lot more videos with regards to the demo. Shall we break this demo down? Oh, and he's got a bit of strength. Oh, off the crossbar. Wow, that could have been the first goal, but it wasn't. I do like the way he just shrugged off the defender there. A little burst of acceleration, and then absolutely smashed the ball. And I thought that was going to fly into the top corner, but I thought they were going to score them. So, but Aubameyang now, what can we do with his pace? And who's making the overlapping run there? See if we can play him through Pastore. Oh, wow. Wow. That was a completely wrong thing to do. Just trying to like do some sort of finesse shot, and it just went horribly wrong. So we've got someone on the edge of the box, left foot, and that didn't happen. I thought, it was always dropping to Pastore. Why doesn't it drop to someone a little bit more clinical? And we've got Iniesta. Can he create a bit of strength? Oh, and smashes the ball in. First goal with Marco Reus. Still overpowered by the look of things. Look at that. Just smashes it past the keeper. Very nice indeed. I'll have to like go through all the celebrations and see what they all are. Just a little burst of pace to get away from him and gave the keeper no chance. It's pretty good. But what do you expect from Royce really? He's never going to be like, much worse than he was last year. Maybe not quite as overpowered. It all depends on how the balance of the gameplay is and like, who are the best players, who does it favour. It'll be interesting to use Ibrahimovic, and of course if the game favours those kind of players, then the infamous Didier Drogba will become a monster on Ultimate Team once again. I know there's a lot of hype surrounding him, people can't wait to use him, but of course if it's more beneficial to use a pacey striker, then you're going to go for him. But if you like if it's all about strength, and strength like just means that you'll dominate your opponent, then Drogba's going to be an absolute animal. And we've got Lewandowski, and the ball just runs away from him. So that's pretty much it in terms of that's the first game over. It does feel like, to summarise really my thoughts so far, the gameplay is a lot different. It's going to take some getting used to. It does feel a lot slower. It feels a bit more like head to head. I do like these menus. Look at that, and the way the presentation is so much better. Let's see what the match highlights have got to say. So, as always, it looks pretty much like it was last year. Let's have a look at the ratings. Do they look any different? And no, pretty much the same presentation, the same options that you've got, just like dressed up slightly differently. But yeah, the presentation does look good. So, we'll see what happens with that. But that's it, guys. Anyway, that's the first video. Let me know if you want to see more demo videos here. And as always, if you like this video, leave a like below, comment, subscribe.